Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, the Arc Revo America Finals just finished out, and we have a lot of news on the Arc System Works front. News for DnF Duel and a lot of big megaton, I guess you could say, announcements for Guilty Gear Strive, so let's get to it. So first here, DnF Duel. It's been a while since we've heard anything about it, and we got a look at a new character and also a release date. Here we see the Ghostblade, who just recently had a trailer drop the other day. The Ghostblade is as advertised, has a ghost and uses a samurai blade, and they kind of function together. Also, we're kind of getting our first look here at the Lady Mechanic. Now, not a lot of gameplay details necessarily, but we can see the model at least. And we finally have our release date. It is June 28th of this year. So not too far away. Now, a release date for DnF Duel, that's already a pretty big announcement in and of itself, right? But no, there's way more. One and pretty easy guess, Arc Revo 2022 is going to happen, and Guilty Gear Strive and DnF Duel will be the two featured games of the tournament. Now, anyone could have seen that coming, I guess, but still, it's nice to officially state it. Now, besides that, let's get bombshell number one out of the way. Yes, Guilty Gear Strive is indeed getting a second season of content. There will be more DLC characters, as you can see right here, so at least 4 more, and crossplay is coming to the game. So PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the Steam PC versions of Guilty Gear Strive can all play with each other just fine and dandy now. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for it. I have been too, because crossplay is what we need for a healthy player base for sure, absolutely, and we are finally going to get it. Now, we probably have to wait for Season 2 to get it. We're not getting it like today or anything, right? But still, Season 2 won't be that far away. It'll probably be roughly when the anniversary of Guilty Gear Strive is. They didn't give an exact date, but a few months away at most. So Season 2 is giving us crossplay. We're obviously getting new characters, at least 4 more. They also said there will be extensive balance changes coming to the game in Season 2. Now, if you've ever seen like what they are willing to do in Dragon Ball FighterZ, they're willing to make very, very big changes across the board, both character-wise and game system-wise. So I am very much excited and looking forward to what they're going to be doing. Also, new stages, new colors, and they're looking for ways to improve the online experience overall. And don't forget, we got that final DLC character coming, right? Well, that final DLC character is also coming with a second edition of the story mode. And as you can see here, here's a little clip of it, and one of the things the story mode is definitely doing is focusing on the characters that didn't really get a go at bat in the last story mode. Like Ramlethal. Ramlethal did not appear at all in the story mode. Faust is also kind of not showing up in the first story mode. So we're kind of revolving around characters that did not get much of the spotlight the first time around. The cinematic story mode, as it was pretty fun. I dug it, right? Like, there really wasn't any gameplay. You just kind of sat and watched it, but it was a pretty fun watch. It was White House Down if White House Down was an anime, and hell, with a train, maybe this is like Snowpiercer if Snowpiercer was an anime. So we're getting this later in April, but what we are getting this month, we are getting the last character of Season 1 DLC, Testament. Testament is looking a little bit different now, a little bit like a goth Zatanna, if you will. Also sounding a little different, but we'll get to that in a second here. But yeah, Testament is now coming in a move pretty much nobody was expecting. The leaks, which have been 100% right up until right now, said it was going to be Slayer, and maybe it still will. Maybe Slayer got moved to Season 2 of DLC. And Testament looks pretty different, yes, but also looks like they play pretty different as well. A lot of the characters who have made their way into Guilty Gear Strive have changed up in some major fundamental ways, and it looks like that Testament is no longer like a trap zoner kind of character. I don't see the tree getting planted. If you know old school Testament, you know all about the tree. And there is definitely a bunch of all new moves, still very much in the Testament style of summoning and all that, but very different from old school Testament. Testament's a lot bigger on summoning old Bitey now from all sorts of points on the screen. And also the Succubus. I think her name was Zio, if I remember correctly. She's making a much bigger appearance in this game and also seems to have brought a pal along this time around. So Testament will be launching March the 28th, that's this month, if you have the season pass, otherwise March the 31st. And also a whole new stage here, we're getting the White House as a stage. It was a big part of the story mode, and now, hey, now you can fight in it. So Testament in a few days, the second story mode sometime next month, all new season 2 a couple months away with like a massive rebalance and all sorts of new stuff. A lot is happening on the Guilty Gear front. So there's a lot to look forward to. And once again as well, in June is the launch of DnF Duel. So Arc System Works is kind of taking over the next few months. Now back to Testament, you might notice here in terms of the description, they're using the term they to describe Testament. So let's talk about that. The English and Japanese trailers are actually different. So the Japanese version of Testament has a very feminine voice. You can hear that right here. Now on the flip, the English version of Testament has a very masculine voice.
I don't intend to start anything. I'm just one person passing through. Is that really so odd? Well then, to a dazzling encounter. What's wrong? That wasn't like you.
So it looks like Testament's going the non-binary route, I suppose? Which, fair enough, I guess. Even if you want to rewind the clock back like 20-some years, right? Testament's definitely had a non-standard kind of dress and appeal, I guess you could say, so why not just make it official? Now, besides this, we actually have some more info on Testament as well, besides what's in the trailer, as we have an info/story blurb from the website itself. So Testament is rated 4 out of 5 on the ease of use scale, therefore easy to use. So once again, pretty different from the old Testament, who was definitely more difficult to use than not. Also a story blurb here, Testament was once human before being surgically modified into a gear. Under the control of the Conclave, they worked to revive justice. After the events of the Second Holy Order selection tournament, this is where Guilty Gear 1 happened, Testament was the sub-boss of that game, they regained their sense of self, feeling guilty. Oh, feeling guilty, a Guilty Gear, fancy that, right? They hid in the Forest of Demons before resolving to protect the half-gear Dizzy from the humans that pursued her. Although this began as a way to atone for their sins, it ended up bringing back their human sensibility. They now live with the elderly couple who once took care of Dizzy. This new life has brought them peace of mind, and they now enjoy their share of happiness. So basically, Testament used to be a complete asshole trying to destroy the human race, but now they've chilled out and they're just kind of hanging around. Testament's type is listed as balance on the website, so like Soul or Kai, but then again, friggin' Leo is also a balance type, so who knows what that actually means in reality. Although just from the base looks, if Baiken was a mild departure from the old school Baiken, Testament seems to be a massive departure from the old school Testament. That said though, they're out in just like a week and change now, so we do not have long to wait to find out how exactly Testament is going to play in this version of the game. Looks like some things will persist, like using ravens and birds to attack. Also looks like the bird sets the succubi on Soul, and then there's some sort of purple debuff on him. So there could potentially be some sort of debuff game plan going on. But other than that, we're going to need a lot more detail than what this trailer is going to give us. Only thing I can really say is it looks like Testament has some long-range normals and controls space decently well. But that's everything, and that's a lot. Crossplay Season 2, more DLC, DnF Duel release date. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's all very, very exciting. So when the time comes, of course, this channel will have all the Testament combos, guides, info, and tech you can use. But till then, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Guilty Gear.